Back now for more Bay Sunday. Life can take you down some pretty crazy roads, but it's all part of the experience that makes us who we are. Occasionally, though, we need a little roadmap, and my next guest has just the ticket to ride. In his first book, Full Life Balance, the five keys to the kingdom, it's a narrative on how to live better every day, and we can all use a little help, I think. Author William Wesley joins us now. How are you?
Frank, I am excellent.
Great
How are
to
you?
have you. I'm great.
Good.
Well, give us your story, because this book kind of grew out of what you were going through as a younger man.
Yeah. Well, it started at the beginning. The beginning was I was born in the projects in San Francisco, California, Hunters Point. Came up in a low-income household, but was blessed in the community I lived in. We had Reverend Medeiros and Ashley Rhodes, the coach, and Pete the barber, and other folks who could reach out and actually thump a kid on the head if a kid wasn't doing well. So I came up in an interesting environment in terms of people who cared and loved about me, but financially we were going through the stress of a lot of folks at that time. And still at this time, but that was our household. Grew up, went to school, got married, having a wonderful career, this rocket ship going up, but not whole. And so pieces began to fall off. And I found myself severely out of balance, doing all the wrong things. Went through divorce, and when I reached my emotional pit, I was lucky enough to basically realize that I can do certain things, but I have to take the steps and begin to do it. My dad, the late Bob Campbell, said almost 99% of the things that happen to you happen because you either allowed them or you caused them. Now, he knew there was racism, there's sexism, there's homophobia, and those things, but your day-to-day, most of the things you do are on you.
Right.
And once you begin to take that responsibility, then you begin to fundamentally understand there are things you can do to affect your circumstance. So once I put it inside of me and began to work towards it, I realized I was better when I addressed my spiritual self, better still when I took care of my physical self, better also when I addressed my emotional self, and then of course we have to make money, eat, and all of that, so I had to address my professional self, and then lastly my charitable self.
Right.
So Full Life Balance is this testimony of how do you bring those five pieces together to live an abundant life.
Do we all have an epiphany somewhere in life where we go, what am I doing?
You know, I'm not an expert on epiphanies, but I'm an expert on my epiphany.
Well,
and what I've learned is sometimes it's this hard crash and it causes you to burn for 40 days and 40 nights and wow, you get it. Sometimes it's these subtle things, meeting a person, experiencing different people, experiencing different experiences that cause you to have little epiphanies that make you make course corrections in the course of your life. For me, mine was a major course correction. And then once I was able to document the process, I realized, you know what, there are a lot of folks going through a lot of things, so why don't I continue to spread this out there? And we've gotten tremendous response in reference to the book because it touches different things that a lot of folks go through.
Absolutely. Well, it hit a chord with me. I think you had a quote in there, too stressed to be blessed. Aren't we, though? We're just so lost in the minutia of our life where we don't go, hey, you're breathing, you're healthy.
Exactly.
You just had a great dinner, you're drinking a nice glass of wine. What advice would you give to people that just can't seem to get off that train, that need to just kind of take a deep breath and say,
I think one, when you get too stressed and when you get too wrapped up in your stuff, your bills, your relationship, your family, your job, all of that, go to the free food clinic. Get on string beans, right, and dole out string beans. And watch the people that go through. Those people have two issues that day. One, are they going to eat? And two, will they be safe that night? Then get back in your car, go to your home with your gas in your car and to your house with your PG&E and open your refrigerator with food. That gives you perspective if you're aware. So one, I would say that, but I have a couple of very quick tips in each space. So in the spiritual space, get up in the morning, and the first 5 minutes of the morning, just be quiet. Most of us are never quiet. Just be quiet and let yourself or your spirit or whatever you call it talk to you. Two, in the physical, these are just tips, but we have 5 of each in the book. In the physical key, wake up after you've had that moment of peace, and I call it 5 minutes of peace, then do 5 minutes of stretching. Just stretch your body from neck to toe, and it gets you ready. 3, in the emotional key, at the end of the day, spend 5 minutes reflecting on your interactions. Were you a good person? Did you have interactions with people? Did someone look weird when you were saying something, but you were so busy saying what you were saying that you couldn't understand that they were saying, he's turning me off or she's offending me or whatever? and reflect back on it. Sometimes we just can course correct, but other times it even requires a phone call. Listen, I'm sorry. Right. I came across the wrong way. Then just the last two. Professional key, 5 minutes a day learning something new in reference to what you do or what you want to do.
Stretch the mind.
And then the fifth thing is 5 minutes. My mom said if we do 2 hours a month each, we could solve all the world's problems.
Right. Just giving back.
Yeah, identify the charity. It could be anything, but whatever it is for you, begin to do that.
Well, we're out of time. I could have done a half hour with you, but awesome book. We
Thank
wish
you,
you all the
Frank.
best. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you
really
very
appreciate
much.
It. If you'd like more information about Full Life Balance, log on to fulllifebalance.com. Nice and easy. That's fulllifebalance.com. More Bay Sunday right after the break. Stay right there.